The wedding hall glowed like a palace. Golden lights hung from the ceiling in long, shimmering curtains. Fresh marigold garlands framed every doorway. Waiters moved quickly between tables carrying silver trays of sweets and saffron milk, while relatives laughed loudly over the sound of dhol music. Outside the hall, near the parking entrance, a young man sat beside his mother on a small plastic chair. His white shirt was clean but old. The collar had faded from too many washes. Beside him, his mother opened a steel lunchbox wrapped carefully in cloth. "Eat before it gets cold, Ravi," she said softly. Ravi nodded. Before he could take a bite, a sharply dressed woman from the groom's family stopped nearby and frowned. "The staff should eat behind the kitchen area," she said. "Guests will be arriving any minute." The words were not loud, but they were loud enough. Several people nearby turned to look. Ravi lowered his eyes immediately. His mother, Meena, quickly closed the lunchbox. "We're sorry," she whispered. The woman walked away without another word. For a moment, Ravi said nothing. Then he forced a small smile toward his mother. "It's okay, Ma. I'm not hungry anyway." But Meena knew he was. A mother always knew. Inside the wedding hall, the groom was getting ready for the Varmala ceremony. Arjun Malhotra stood near the stage while photographers adjusted lights around him. Tall, elegant, wearing an ivory sherwani embroidered with gold thread. Everyone in the hall admired him. Successful businessman, educated in London, owner of one of Jaipur's fastest-growing hotel companies. But despite the noise around him, Arjun kept looking toward the entrance, as though waiting for someone. His cousin laughed. "Nervous already?" Arjun smiled faintly. "No," he said quietly. "I'm just looking for someone important." Meanwhile, outside near the kitchen corridor, Meena wiped her eyes before Ravi could notice. She had worked for the Malhotra family for 22 years. 22 years of cleaning floors, cooking during festivals, washing dishes after parties where guests never learned her name. And every summer, she brought Ravi with her because she could not afford childcare. When Ravi was 6, he used to sleep on folded bed sheets in the laundry room while Meena worked late into the night. When he was 10, he learned how to quietly collect empty glasses after family gatherings. When he was 13, he stopped entering the main hall altogether because he noticed the looks people gave him. Servant's child. He learned those words very early. But one person never treated him that way. Arjun, the wealthy son of the house, the boy who used to sneak mango ice cream into the kitchen for him during summers. The boy who once sat beside him on the back staircase and said, "My grandmother says people who work hard are more honorable than people who only talk." Back then, they were just children. Class differences had not fully poisoned the world yet. But as they grew older, things changed. Arjun was sent abroad for university. Ravi stayed behind. He worked part-time at mechanic shops while studying accounting at night. Meena never complained, but Ravi saw her hands growing rougher every year. He saw the exhaustion in her shoulders, so he quietly gave up his own dreams. That was the kind of son he became, the kind who sacrificed silently. 3 years earlier, Arjun had returned from London very different from the cheerful boy Ravi remembered. Quieter, thinner, always tired. At first, the family assumed he was stressed from work. But Ravi noticed things others didn't. The smell of alcohol hidden beneath expensive cologne, the shaking hands, the locked bedroom doors, the silence during family dinners. One rainy night, Ravi found Arjun sitting alone inside the garage with an open bottle beside him. The storm outside was loud. Arjun laughed bitterly without looking up. "You know what's funny?" he said. "Everyone thinks rich people are happy." Ravi sat beside him quietly. For almost 10 minutes, neither spoke. Then Ravi finally said, "My mother says pain becomes heavier when nobody shares it." Arjun looked at him for a long moment. That night became the beginning of something neither of them talked about afterward. Over the next year, Ravi helped Arjun more times than anyone knew. When Arjun drank too much before an investor meeting, Ravi covered for him. When panic attacks woke him at night, Ravi stayed on the phone until sunrise. When gossip about a failed relationship nearly destroyed Arjun emotionally, Ravi listened without judgment. Not once did Ravi ask for money. Not once did he use Arjun's weakness for advantage. He simply stayed, like family. But families built by love are often invisible to the world. Inside the wedding hall, the music suddenly became louder. The bride's family had arrived. Guests rushed toward the entrance excitedly. Phones lifted into the air. Children ran across the marble floors laughing. Outside, Ravi stood up quickly to help workers move flower boxes near the gate. As he carried one heavy arrangement, he overheard two relatives talking nearby. "Who's that boy?" "Mina's son." "Oh." A pause. Then quiet laughter. "I heard Arjun still talks to him sometimes. Strange habit. These rich boys become emotional too easily." Ravi kept walking as though he heard nothing. But something inside him tightened. Not anger, just tiredness. The tiredness of being reminded exactly where society believed you belonged. An hour later, the wedding ceremony finally began. The hall glowed under warm golden lights. Arjun stood on the decorated stage waiting for the bride, but his eyes searched the crowd again, still looking, still waiting. His father leaned toward him impatiently. "What are you doing?" Arjun asked calmly. "Where's Ravi?" His father frowned immediately. "Probably outside helping staff." "Call him." A confused silence followed. "What?" "Call him inside." His uncle gave an awkward laugh. "Arjun, the ceremony is starting." "I know." "Then why are we discussing servants right now?" Arjun's expression changed slightly. Not anger, something colder. "He's not a servant." The nearby relatives exchanged uncomfortable looks. His father lowered his voice sharply. "This is not the time." But Arjun was already stepping down from the stage. The music slowly weakened as guests noticed movement. Photographers turned. Whispers spread through the hall. Arjun walked directly across the marble floor toward the main entrance, toward the parking corridor, toward Ravi. Outside, Ravi was helping arrange chairs when he suddenly heard the music stop. He turned in confusion and froze. Arjun Malhotra, the groom himself, was walking toward him in full wedding clothes while hundreds of guests watched from behind. Ravi immediately stepped back. "Arjun, what are you doing?" Arjun stopped in front of him. For a second, neither man spoke. Then Arjun looked at the plastic chair beside Meena. The unopened lunchbox still rested there. Something in his face shifted. Pain, memory, love, all mixed together. He turned toward the wedding hall, toward the guests, and then he said words nobody in that family would ever forget. "If he sits outside," his voice was calm, but steady enough to silence the entire building, "then I don't belong inside either." The hall became completely silent. Even the musicians stopped moving. Ravi stared at him in shock. "Arjun, don't do this," he whispered desperately. "People are watching." "I know. You'll embarrass your family." Arjun smiled sadly. "No, Ravi," he said softly. "They embarrass themselves." Several relatives looked horrified. His father stepped forward furiously. "Enough!" But Arjun continued. "This woman cooked for us when my mother was sick." He pointed gently toward Meena. "She stayed awake during every festival while we celebrated." His eyes moved across the crowd. "And her son," his voice became quieter, "saved my life when nobody else even noticed I was drowning." The guests looked confused. Arjun took a slow breath. You all see money first. You see status first. You see clothes first. Then he looked directly at Ravi. But when I was broken, this man stayed beside me like a brother. Ravi's eyes immediately filled with tears. He shook his head slightly as though begging Arjun to stop. But Arjun finally said the truth he had hidden for years. The reason I'm standing here healthy today, a pause, is because Ravi never abandoned me. Near the back of the hall, Meena quietly began crying into the edge of her sari. Not loudly, just the exhausted tears of a woman who had spent decades being invisible. Arjun walked toward Ravi slowly. Then in front of everyone, he hugged him. Not politely, not symbolically, like real family. The hall watched in stunned silence. Ravi stood frozen at first. Then his hands slowly lifted, and for the first time since childhood, he hugged Arjun back. A lifetime of humiliation cracked quietly inside his chest. Not because rich people finally accepted him, but because someone he loved refused to be ashamed of him. Inside the hall, several older women wiped tears from their eyes. Even the bride looked emotional. Arjun finally pulled back and smiled faintly. You once told me something in the garage, he said quietly. Ravi frowned slightly through tears. Arjun continued. Pain becomes heavier when nobody shares it. A broken laugh escaped Ravi's throat. You still remember that? I remember everything. Then Arjun turned toward Meena, and without hesitation, he bent down and touched her feet respectfully. The entire hall gasped softly. Meena immediately tried stopping him. No, Beta, please. But Arjun looked up at her with wet eyes. You took care of me before I even knew how lonely I was. His voice trembled slightly. You fed me with your own hands when my mother was too sick to leave bed. Meena broke down completely. For 22 years, nobody in that family had publicly thanked her, not once. But at that moment, standing beneath golden wedding lights before hundreds of people, her sacrifice was finally seen. The bride stepped forward next. She smiled warmly at Ravi and Meena. Please come inside, she said gently. You should be with family. Family, such a small word. Yet Meena looked as though she had waited half her life to hear it. Later that night, after the ceremony ended, Ravi sat quietly near the edge of the hall while guests danced. The noise felt distant now, peaceful somehow. Arjun walked over carrying 2 cups of chai, just like old times. He handed one to Ravi. Neither spoke for a while. Finally, Ravi laughed softly. You ruined your own wedding schedule. Arjun smiled. Worth it. A comfortable silence settled between them. Then Arjun said quietly, You know something? What? When we were children, I used to envy you. Ravi stared at him in disbelief. You were never alone, Arjun explained. You and your mother, you loved each other honestly. His eyes lowered toward the teacup. In rich houses, people sometimes forget how to love without conditions. Ravi looked at him for a long moment. Then he smiled gently. My mother says poor people survive because they learn how to hold each other tightly. Arjun laughed softly through tired eyes. Your mother is smarter than everyone in this building. Across the hall, Meena watched the 2 boys together. Not rich man and servant's son, just 2 human beings who had protected each other from loneliness. And for the first time in many years, her heart felt light. Outside, the wedding lights shimmered against the Jaipur night. Inside, music played softly. And somewhere between the laughter, the tears, the chai, and the warmth of finally being seen. A family was quietly reborn.